Holy Toledo, you're gonna make a presentation about easy listening music. You don't even like easy listening music. You never really listened to easy listening music. You don't even believe in the philosophical underpinnings of easy listening music, which is all sentimentality, cloying, oversweetened, sugary, insulated, suburban, I'm afraid of problems, let me escape from my problems, infantile, fake innocence. Well, I have to do a presentation on easy listening music. I mean, it's true. It was not my choice of music. I have a list here of some stuff, and I'll have to refer to my notes. When I was a kid, I listened to Marvin Gaye, Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind and Fire, the Commodores, Jackson 5, Teddy Pendergrass, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. When I went into high school, I listened to progressive rock. I listened to Genesis, Peter Gabriel, Yes, King Crimson, the Strawbs. Never really got into Jethro Tull. Am I in trouble? No. When I went to college, it was the Smiths, Morrissey, the Trash Can Sinatras, Lloyd Cole, Prefab Sprout, the Sundays. So, why in the hell are you, who in the hell are you to talk about easy listening music? Thing is, I'm 54 years old, and I have to admit, I'm really into connecting more with things that defined me in my childhood, that reminds me of my parents. And I have to tell you, my mother had K101 in San Francisco, easy listening station on all the time. I absorbed easy listening music. I remember when I had 104 fever and my mom was taking me to the clinic, and she had on Rod Stewart's Maggie May playing on the radio. I mean, I'll never forget that. I remember my mom driving me around, and Todd Rundgren's Hello, It's Me would be playing, and I could go on and on. But so I really wanted to sit down and make a list of music that defined who I was in my suburban culture in San Jose and then Castro Valley, California. That's a suburb outside of Oakland in the 1970s. And what happened was I was trying to compile a list of maybe the top 10, top 15, top 20 easy listening songs of all time. And I found that it was absolutely impossible, because I realized that just because songs were getting a lot of airtime on easy listening radio, they were in these completely different categories. And so I had to sit down and come up with 4 categories. And I want to argue that the last category I give you is the quintessential easy listening music. And therefore, the top songs I give you from that final category are really the greatest easy listening songs of all time. But let me break down the 4 categories for you. The first category I would call non-easy listening songs that were played on easy listening music. There were songs that, because of their subject matter and because of their non-earnest tone, because of the irony, because of the biting lyrics, even though somehow they made it on easy listening music, they weren't truly easy listening. And of course, those songs for me would be my personal favorite, even though I don't think they would be the quintessence of easy listening music. So that would be number 1. Number 2, I would call unapologetically earnest music. I mean, I'm not embarrassed. I'm going to just rip my heart out, and I don't care if I come across as being sappy. I'm going to be naked with my heart, man. Just unapologetically earnest. And I find most of those songs insufferable, but actually there are a couple songs that I heard on easy listening stations that transcended the genre. They were just classics, and I'll talk about those. And then of course, the third category would be the love ballad. Of course, either you found love and it exalted you, or you're mourning the loss of a particular love, and that's huge, and that can be sappy. And of course, some people would transcend the genre. I think a lot of Fleetwood Mac ballads were so good they transcended the genre. I'm thinking of Landslide, and I'm thinking of Silver Springs and Warm Ways. Fleetwood Mac, I mean, they got on the easy listening station, but man, just unbelievable. The more I think about them as I get older, the more I'm impressed with some of those Fleetwood Mac songs. And then the final category, now we're getting into the golden nugget of easy listening music. And I want to call this ocean breeze music. This is the kind of music, you're with your love and you're on the veranda, you're on the terrace of a beautiful apartment or condo or hotel, and you're watching the sunset. Some people might call this yacht music, or if you don't have a yacht, you might call it sailboat music. But it's really easy listening, man. It is easy, man. You're drinking a Corona, and you may have hair. I can't talk about that. I've been bald since I was 4 years old. But the wind is blowing, and you got like a mangarita in your hand, man. You are chilling, man, with the ocean breeze of easy listening music. What I would call the quintessence of easy listening music. So let's begin with category 1. These were songs I heard as a kid on easy listening radio, but I don't think they were really easy listening songs. Let me give you some of these songs here. Okay, one of my favorite songs of all time. Got a lot of airtime on easy listening radio. I'm Not in Love by 10cc. And it's an amazing song. It's a beautiful song. It's a melancholy song. There's a lot of irony in that song, too. The lyrics about a guy who keeps denying that he's in love. And of course, as he denies it, you realize he is helplessly in love. That's a song that's really a non-easy listening song that got on easy listening radio. Here's another one of my favorites. Carly Simon's You're So Vain. A scathing description of what? Warren Beatty or something? Didn't she date that guy? I mean, the lyrics are unbelievable. You got Mick Jagger in the background. One of the greatest songs of all time. Somehow, that song got on easy listening radio. Love that song. I mean, it transcends the genre. Let's see what other songs we got here. Corgus. Everybody's got to learn sometime. This is not a love song. This is about personal transformation, personal enlightenment. It's a beautiful song, but it's not an easy listening song. Alone Again Naturally by Gilbert O'Sullivan. I swear to God, that song was like played 7 times an hour when I was a little kid. And it's really not an easy listening song, man. The kid loses his mom. She dies, and he's contemplating suicide, and he's like the saddest guy in the world. And that song, it really pressed a lot of buttons with people when I was a kid. And I can't call that an easy listening song. There's a beauty to it. And I don't want to call it easy listening. Check this out. Look at this cat. Look at this type of song that I heard when I was a kid that got a lot of airtime on easy listening. Spiders and Snakes by Jim Stafford. This is not easy listening. This is like what I would call a gag song. It's about dating someone who's afraid of spiders and snakes. And then one of the weirdest songs ever on easy listening radio. It's not easy listening. Afternoon Delight. This salacious, lubricious homage to afternoon lovemaking by the Starland Vocal Band. A bunch of nerds singing this salacious, lascivious, purient song. Unbelievable. I mean, it's a novelty song or a gag song. And it got a lot of airtime on easy listening radio. So that would be category 1. These are songs that got a lot of airtime on easy listening radio, but they were not easy listening. Now, the next category is huge. I'm sorry. Let me go to category 2. These are unapologetically earnest songs. And I think the most popular unapologetic earnest song of all time that captures easy listening radio, not a personal favorite of mine, but I acknowledge it as the king of earnestness. This would be Sometimes When We Touch by Dan Hill. I tried to listen to it yesterday. I couldn't listen to the whole thing. Too much, man. Just too much for me personally. But you got to give it credit. For if you want to be earnest, go to that song, Sometimes When We Touch. Now, there's a couple of earnest songs that are so good, they transcend the genre. Another earnest song, All By Myself and Never Gonna Fall in Love Again by Eric Carmen. Superstar by The Carpenters, very earnest. Now, a couple of favorites of mine that I think they kind of transcend the genre. By the way, I love Superstar, so maybe I'll elevate that one as well. But Simply Red, Holding Back the Tears. There's an earnest song that it's just too good to put it in a easy listening box. There's no way. And look at this, Foreigner. I want to know what love is. I'm sorry, man. Song gives me chills. I want to work out to it. I want to do my kettlebell workout to that. One of the greatest earnest love songs of all time. And now we go to category 3, a very crowded category, the love ballad. My God, I mean, I try to make a list here, and there's no way this list could be complete. Lost Without Your Love by Bread, I Need You by America, If by Bread, Aubrey by Bread, I Go Crazy by Paul Davis, Baby Come Back by Player, How Much I Feel by Ambrosia, She's Gone by Hall & Oates, Careless Whisper by George Michael, If You Leave Me Now by Chicago. And now we're getting to a couple of my favorites that somehow made it to Easy Listening Radio. Just to Be Close to You by the Commodores, Sweet Love by the Commodores. Now listen to this. One of my favorite love ballads of all time. You could not hear this particular song on Easy Listening. You'd have to hear it on KSFX or K-Soul. It was Living for the Love of You by the Isley Brothers. Didn't make it on Easy Listening Radio, but one of the greatest love ballads of all time. Makes me cry. Makes me weep like a little child. Just wanted to say that as an aside. Let's look at some other great love ballads that got Easy Listening play. Baby, I Love Your Way by Peter Frampton. One of my personal favorites, Warm Ways by Fleetwood Mac. Too Much Heaven by the Bee Gees. Fanny Be Tender by the Bee Gees. Now, I grew up in San Francisco, so we had this wonderful song that was playing, Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr., I Hope We Get to Love in Time. They also had an even bigger hit, You Don't Have to Be a Star. What's the greatest love ballad of all time? Well, some people would say the Bee Gees' How Deep Is Your Love? I could see that argument. For me, it would have to be Hello, It's Me by Todd Rundgren. It's actually, I don't even know if I can listen to Hello, It's Me. There's a melancholy to that song that I find unbearable, but there's a beauty and a depth there that transcends any category. It may be one of the greatest songs of all time, however you want to categorize it. But for me, maybe I would put that there. Though it would be easier for me to listen to How Deep Is Your Love. It's just that's melancholy too, but not as devastatingly melancholy as Todd Rundgren. So obviously, we could all disagree on that. We all have our favorite love ballads. And now this is my argument. I think Easy Listening is captured by what I call ocean breeze music. You're on a yacht, you're by the beach, you're just relaxing, you're wearing linen. You're wearing a linen outfit and the linen is blowing in the breeze and you're drinking a margarita or a Corona. And so let me give you some of those songs here, and then I'll give you what I think is not only the greatest ocean breeze song of all time, but by my argument, it would have to be the greatest easy listening song of all time. I find this fascinating. So let's look at some ocean breeze music. Dance With Me by Orleans. Yep, not one of my all-time favorites, but I have to put that there as a good example of ocean breeze, easy listening music. The Beach Boys are way up there. Look at this. Don't Worry, Baby, and Wouldn't It Be Nice? That is really they really paved the way for ocean breeze, easy listening music. And of course, I would say most people would agree they transcend the genre. They're just classic. I mean, if you listen to Pet Shop Boys, your life is pretty much over. You've pretty much disappeared into that album and you're never coming out. Here's some other ocean breeze he's listening. Wishing You Were Here by Chicago. Sailing by Christopher Cross. And now I'm going to give you what I think is the second greatest easy listening song of all time. Goes under the category of ocean breeze. It is called Summer Breeze by Seals and Croft. And now, I don't have a drum or anything, but this would have to be the greatest easy listening song of all time, based on my argument, based on my definition, based on my category system. After this, I think I'll do a thing on tears and luxury watches. I don't know, but let's stick with this. Number one greatest easy listening song of all time in the category of ocean breeze music. This would be called I'd Really Love to See You Tonight by England Dan and John Ford Coley. Wow. So I had to get that out. I've been thinking a lot about easy listening. My mom's going to come down and visit me. She's responsible for exposing me to all this music when I was a kid, and I had to get this down. So in any event, I'm sure you all have your own list. This is mine. And until next time, I'm out.